Hey, ni hao, everybody. We're back. A little technical difficulties we're still working through. But until then, let's dive back into what we've experienced. So, back in this time before, we were told exactly that a small child was smacked across a room by an evil man. And as this evil man glared down and saw this child slumped against the wall, the child rolled over, producing a pistol in her hands. And as this pistol that was clutched between two shaking fingers leveled itself at her abuser, the blonde hair fell in her eyes, and as those blue eyes glared forward, the man who would soon be on the floor getting colder and not older looked up and simply said, "Harry? Harry?" And as we cut forward back to the courtesan's cargo bay, there, the same eyes, only housed now in a woman instead of a girl, Harriet stares down at the man that has just asked for his wife, just asked for this abused 12-year-old girl. And the sound of Harry continues, only this time it's round Jack Brannigan, who sees this girl, this woman that he has come to know in Harriet, and knows what she is capable of, and he knows what's going to happen. And as he says, "Harry? Now, Harry?" Before he can say any further, the same gun that killed her foster father appears in her hand as she levels it against the man that had asked for the 12-year-old and fires.
Take my love, take my life, take me where I cannot stand. I don't care, I'm still free. You can't take the sky from me. Take me out to the black. Tell 'em I ain't coming back. Burn the land, boil the sea. You can't take the sky from me. There's no place I can be since I found serenity. And you can't take the sky from me.
So, everybody, as we are back here with hopefully, the remainder of our crew, as Tia is going to attempt to reconnect as soon as she battles the internets and frees its. There's mentions of Reavers. They're mythical. They don't exist, but perhaps it's something like that. As we are standing there with the rest of the crew sees in that moment of. It's that. Every time something big happens, a lot of people describe it as time slowing down. In the days of the Earth that was, these moments were called amber dipped, as if they were preserved. They would always be remembered, even the smallest details. And the strangest thing about these terraformed worlds is that while they have the same soil that would need to be for the world and the people to survive upon, and as they have an atmosphere and as they have wind, the thing that some of the border worlds and the rim worlds don't have is wildlife. They have maybe introduced coyotes or buffalo, definitely cows that were used as ranch hands and things of that nature, things to produce meat for the core. But what they don't have, and what might have worked here, is as Harriet pulls out her gun, if there had been a cry of an eagle in the distance, of a moment of singular worth that the entire universe decided to place in the minds of each of these crew to dictate not that they can remember, but that they must remember what happens here. And so, crew of the Courtesan and passenger Lo Zhao Li, as Harriet pulls forth this gun, she produces it in her hand effortlessly. She cocks back the hammer and pulls the trigger. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, brown coats of all ages, we are in our very first gunfight. So as you see Harriet take a shot at this gentleman standing in this long robe from neck to ankle, you see one of the riders push this man out of the way. And as he pushes this man out of the way, he says, "Father Sabbath." And as he pushes him, you see him get shot in the side. The bullet that was aimed at this man being taken by one of his cohorts. But at that moment and at that progression, you see 9 men draw rifles from various states of being in the saddle or being on the ground as they pull it up and enter into the proper or the cargo bay of the courtesan. And before anybody else can react, this group will be reacting. So what I would like to do at this point is if you could direct your attention over to our Roll20 as I queue up Nosebleed, which is... Let me know if it's too loud for everybody back there, because this is the rockabilly gunfight song. So what we're going to do is we have 9 people in the fight here, guys. And as 9 people are coming forward, they are going to attack you as a gang of 9. Now, when I roll for this gang of 9, you are going to see me roll 9d6. Normally, if there was a 1 involved in that group of numbers, it would benefit you all. But because there are so many of them, unfortunately, you will not be able to take advantage of that situation. But let's roll and see what's going on first. And then I will roll up. Somebody gets a... Okay, so the number to beat here is 10, ladies and gentlemen. And the person that I'm going to have go first in this action to avoid getting shot is... Thunderhawk, welcome to the party, pal, is Miss Lo Zhao Li. Miss Lo Zhao Li, as you didn't really have a lot of dog in this fight, you perhaps have the quickest reaction outside of the gunman, outside of the courtesan. So as these rifles come up, you have the first option to go. And because I'm making you first in this movement order, they did roll a 1, and you get an additional plot point to use at your leisure.
That's great.
I will put it with your stuff. It should have appeared there. I don't think it did. There we go.
You said they're coming into the cargo hold?
They are drawing down rifles and firing into the cargo hold.
Okay, but they're outside of the ship?
They are outside of the ship.
Okay.
You all are in various states in the cargo bay, but as we are all aware of what a Firefly looks like, the front entire 2/3 of the front of a Firefly extends down into opening up this maw of a cargo bay that exposes the entirety, 2 levels of the Firefly to the elements. And as this cargo bay door is wide open, they are actively shooting into the bay. So what I need from you is an action and a justifiable roll, and I will let you see if you can beat the current DC is 10. So you must roll your handful of virtual dice and get 2 of them that are going to result in a 10 or higher. Yep.
Is there a big obvious button that says like door close? And like that I've seen?
You'd be aware of that, but unfortunately that's at the far end of the bay, and the 2 people closest to that would be Round Jack and Harriet as they're standing there. Harriet just taking a shot.
Well, then I'm going to GTFO.
Okay.
I'm going to sneak away. I'm going to try to sneak away and hide behind some really good cover.
Yeah.
Okay, I'd like you to roll a physical and whatever skill you think would be applicable here.
A sneak.
And Lindy, if I may suggest, you can also spend a plot point to create an asset that could help you with this role. Be like your cover, right? Like behind some crypt, you could create cover with that.
Okay, well, yeah, I would definitely like to spend that plot point I just got from the one they rolled to create cover, and I'm gonna
hide behind it. Yeah.
Yeah, sneak and cover and physical. All right. So I gotta.
Yep, that plot point will give you an extra D6.
Okay.
Yep.
Physical, sneak, and then just another D6.
Yep.
I'll just click physical again. That's a D6. All right. I roll. Damn it.
Okay. So you rolled an 8 here, and you also rolled a Jinx. So what that does is that gives me the ability to spend one of my plot points and create a, let me see, I think I'm on this one. That's where I put mine. Yep, I'll delete mine. I can create a complication for you. Oh, Brewhammer just donated for a plot point for Lindy. So that plot point has been put back in. Thank you very much, Brew. That's Obviously, if you guys look down at the donations, you can give these people plot points, which are vital for their survival. So, Brew, thank you very much, my friend. So how this plays out, Lindy, is narratively you see something that you believe could act as cover.
Yeah.
And as you pull it down, one of the shot rings out, and I am going to give you a D6 complication. So if anybody rolls against you, they will be rolling an extra D6, and that D6 is going to equate itself as you didn't get hit by a bullet, but what you were holding exploded, and these fragments of fabricated plastic, one of the shards broke free from the shot and kind of embedded itself in your trapezius muscle on your left-hand side.
Great.
It's not terrible. It's more of just a bleeder, it's a shower and not something that's going to kill you. But it does give you a D6 complication as we begin the process of bringing these Nat 1s into play in the Cortex Plus system. But as initiative works in this, we're going to say that you did get down and you're able to get about halfway towards the cover that you suggested before you were knocked down.
Yeah.
And as initiative works in this game, you may tell me who goes next.
Yeah, I think one of those people next to that door with that button should go next. How about the Captain Brannigan?
Okay, it's at this point as the blasts go off that when you look, as Lo Jiao Li kind of looks in that direction, we're going to say that Harriet is jumping out of the way as the focus of a lot of this fire is on her. And because we have a character that's not here, I'm not going to have Harriet get blasted aside. But there is a consequence. And you see the large form of Round Jack Brannigan laying on his back as it appears that he has taken at least one shot in the chest.
Well, then I guess he shouldn't go next. How about the good old Doc? He's standing up there.
Yeah, the doctor is with the kids, and he's the closest to the girl who is the object of this whole thing. You will notice, too, Doctor, that you don't have any shots coming your way. So if you have an action, you're going to be rolling it without the threat of being hit.
Okay. So when the cargo hold, right? We have people shooting in, kids are by me, probably on my left. There's also a big fucking car here now, so there's less room to move, I'm guessing. And pigs.
Yes, there's a car and pigs in here. Keep going, buddy. I got this. This is all me. Yay!
No
we got our Harriet back.
So welcome back. So I think. Oh man. Okay. So I'm going to get probably an ink quill pen. Just from my jacket. I'm going to grab the little girl that he wants, and I'm going to kind of put my hand in a way where he can't really tell that it's an ink quill pen. And I'm going to lift her up and pull it next to her neck. And I'm going to be like, stop right there. If you continue to fire, I will inject this girl with 0x9 Obilovirus 2, my own design. She will die in 2 seconds. Then I will throw the body out there towards all of you, infecting all of you. I'm immune to this. I'm a good doctor.
Okay, so as Dr. Rutherford takes his beat, which is the increment of time in the Cortex Plus system, there's no 6 seconds here for a round like in D&D. This is a beat. These are big damn heroes. They get to do what they need to do in their span of their time. So as we focus down on Dr. Rutherford, we see him produce this bluff. And as he places it against the neck, I assume kind of standing up and making yourself known as you're drawing attention to yourself. Okay, so what I want to do is I'd like you to roll the following. You're going to roll social. You're going to roll definite trick. And I will also allow an influence if you have it. And maybe even a focus. Because this is a high-level situation that you have put yourself in.
I have focus, specialty keen mind.
Okay.
So I don't know if that helps. But I can put in social.
Yep, and what that'll do for you is, with the Keen Mind feat that's in focus, you get to add an additional D6.
Okay, cool. How do I add the D6 to the pool?
You can just actually roll another D6 if you'd like. You can even do a / roll 1D6 if you'd like, and we'll just take what's the highest ones out of it.
Okay, and I have influence D6 as well.
There you go. Add them all in your pool, and
then I'll roll a D6 separately. So let me see.
Good roll.
Pool roll. Oh my god. I'll roll a D6. Probably not going to matter. Super bad.
That's not a good roll. I think that's like a jinx, I think.
Almost a jinx. As you pull this pen up, it gives an automatic complication as I'm going to be able to buy one for one of my plot points. And so as you stand up, the man that was pushed to the ground, the man that claims to be the husband of this girl, as he sees you stand up, he smiles as if somehow able to glean through to the truth of things. And he looks at the rest of his men and taking his beat to say the following: "Kill them all." And the guns continue to rain down. Doc, what would you can have one more action if you want movement here. You're surrounded by these children. Oddly, they seem to be acting as a buffer as none of the bullets are being aimed towards them. You can try to move with them. You can try to move yourself. You can try to move with the girl. It's totally up to you.
So I'm probably just going to be like, this way, children. And I'm going to try and move to the back.
Okay.
Just holding the girl with me. Just
Okay. So you begin to kind of push back, and this is noticed by everyone else because that roll didn't go quite the way that it needed to. You're able to kind of make your move, but you've now drawn attention as people see that you're trying to kind of ferry away these kids. Who would you like to go next in the initiative order?
Bye. Yeah.
I
don't know why, but
no, I just really wanted to go next. That's all. Bai's not much of a fighter, so Bai would absolutely be helping shepherding these kids out of there. I imagine Bai has already kind of crawled closer to the back wall behind the cover, while the things are ricocheting. I might have the hatch open for the kids, and I'm trying to tell the kids to come on, quickly, quietly, children, come on, let's go, and getting them in closer in the ship, away from the gunfight. So my intentions here is that I want to use sneak, because I'm trying to sneak these kids out of the gunfight safely. I would like to use my distinction of being steady, because I have a very good parent kind of come on, while everything is very stressful around them, I'm very focused on the kids and telling them my what I'm saying and everything, and my demeanor isn't very nervous, right? I have a very good, strong, come on, kids, it's gonna be okay. Come on, let's go, right? To them. And is that all? Is all okay? Is everything there good?
I don't say no, that's bullshit. Go right ahead. So everything's
okay, cool.
good with what
right.
You've said. Yep.
Awesome. All right, let me just make my poll real quick. Sorry. Is this social? Because I'm trying to get the kids there. Is this a social sneak, or do you think this is physical? Because I'm not the one actually doing it. I'm kind of
no, this is convincing.
Well,
you're kind of coaxing these kids to move a little bit. Nathan Fillion donated.
Oh, whoops! I need to clear my poll. That's my bad. Social, sneak, and I have to add it. Sorry. Steady. And let's see. Can I add a plot point? What do I have here that's available?
Well, we just had
a plot point to make an asset for cover. Can I do that?
Absolutely, and. Yeah, we just had a $20 donation, so everybody on screen gets a plot point, as you are all awarded from.
Does that count if I'm the one that donated?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
sweet. Enjoy, everybody. My bad for the internet. I'm sorry, internet gods. I will never make jokes again.
I didn't realize that was you. You don't have to do that, but that's fine. I will allow it this time. Everybody gets one. Everybody gets a chip.
Sweet.
Cool. Well, I will thank you. Thank you, Laurelania. I will immediately spend that to curate a cover to the door asset to give myself an extra D6 too. Because maybe I think I pushed some of those crates down, or but I don't want to use your car. I'm sorry, Shirley. I'm not going to use it. I'm going to use. There's but I am using some of your hardened traveling supplies as cover right now for these kids to basically crawl on their hands and knees behind us cover. And so I'm going to add a D6 to my pool and then roll. Sorry.
Okay, absolutely.
Suitcases.
No, talk it out. We're all learning the system, and I want to make sure that everybody understands. So everybody just that's watching, this is a way for each character to kind of, not necessarily they do a lot of rules lawyering and trying to convince me, but when you've got skills that allow you to work a specific angle, this is the way that role-playing works in this system. Figure it out, just like Eric did. Go ahead and roll, buddy.
Like, yeah, so... But once again, I want to be very clear. Bai's not much of a fighter, and he's internally panicking at this, but he has a very strong, like, resolute sense, like, for these kids. If Bai's gonna do something, it's trying to talk to people and getting people to feel better. And so he's really trying to, like, comfort these kids here and tell them, get them out of here. So let me make my roll now. 10 and a 5.
Okay, excellent. So that is a 15, which means that you have beaten the DC by 5, which gives you a big damn plot or a big damn verse or hero point. I will drop that down that you can use whenever you feel you desperately need something to work. That's an extra D12. The way that I'm using this for table rules, every blue chip is worth an extra D12 if you want to use it. So you have succeeded in...
Is that for me or the ship? Okay.
That's for you. Yep.
Cool.
So as you are shuttling in these kids and as you're able to get them through to where they need to be, you're kind of getting them through. And we're going to say that of the 10 kids, the 9 boys and the 1 girl, you get half of them through. And so 5 of them have made it through at the end of this round. And with that roll being as great as it was, that's more than what you normally would have been able to make it through there with. So you are set up and you are shuttling these kids in, doing what Bai does best. Bai, who would you like to go next?
Right. So I think what the scene is, like, half the kids get in there, and then there's like a ricochet of, like, bullets, and we hear, like, pew 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 pew, as they, the pings off the walls. I'm like, oh no, stay there. When this is all done, I promise, I want to make you all amazing dumplings. You're gonna love them. And and the camera's gonna cut over to my husband, Felix.
Now, Greg, we were given very specific instructions by Mild Bill, which was get in, get out, don't get off the ship. And because it was going to be a quickie, giggity, I would assume that I'd probably still be in the cockpit.
Yeah, we can say Felix never established himself as being in the cargo bay, so we can put Felix in the cockpit because narratively that's where he would be. The rules were land, as soon as they got loaded, take off. So, Felix, as you are in the cockpit, I will let you know that at the beginning of your round or your beat, you notice that there is a flashing pulse in the alert section of the Courtesan's control panel.
Do I know what the alert is?
It certainly looks like a landlock.
Okay. They approached on horses, didn't they?
They did.
How many horses? Are they all on horses?
It seems that the group that arrived before, they traveled on horses, but they dismounted and were on the ground. The riders that came up, the 4 that were with the gentleman in the long kind of drape, the man that was referred to as Father Sabbath, they all rode up, and most of them are still mounted. So we're going to say for 4 of them are mounted, and we've got 4 on the ground. Harriet did clip one of them, though.
Okay, fantastic. I am going to I hear gunfire. The horses are probably used to it. What they're probably not used to is the fact that my ship has an announcement system, has basically a PA system attached to the outside. I am going to click that on to maximum volume, and I'm basically going to sound the ship's alarm as loud as physically possible, because horses don't like loud noises.
Neither do pigs.
They're in a pen. There's a difference between that and horses who have riders who are shooting, and I'm landlocked at the moment, cannot return fire, so I am going to turn on this noise as loud as it will go. and then jump out of my seat because we're landlocked, and I'm gonna run to the cargo bay because I'm presuming they're gonna need some backup.
Wait, we're landlocked? I missed that.
Yep.
We're actually landlocked, or you just okay? Shit.
Yeah,
We just found out. Yeah.
hence we're not moving. And otherwise, I would have taken off and probably rammed these horses. So there we go. I'm going to. Can I roll something to try and spook the horses?
Absolutely. What I was going to say is what I'd like you to roll for this is because this is not physical, it's not mental, it's social. This is your ability to be able to trick these beasts and riders, startle them, if you will. So with that, if you want to roll social, if you want to roll an operate on there as well to be able to use this to its maximum effect, and if you want to be able to roll a trick, if you have the trick skill, and even if it's the minor, you can add that to your dice pool as well. So
Okay, now I do have I have a signature asset, which is the courtesan itself. Can I use
that adds
that?
you know her better than anybody else in the verse, so you're able to use the courtesan as an extra d6 in your roll because she, as always, will be working with you.
Okay. How do I roll? Oh, there we go. There we go. And what was the last one? A trick. Okay. And can I spend a plot point to really rile this up because I need these horses to freak out. So
Yep.
for that, but basically to have sort of like a very loud siren, klaxon, megaphone, like foghorn kind of sound.
Yep. For the remainder of this scene, we are going to say that you are given the asset, a D6 asset that is called cranking it up to 11. So as you crank it to 11, you are awarded an additional D6 for the plot point that you spend.
Okay. Let me just add that in. That's a D6, yeah?
Correct.
Oh no, there it is. Sorry, did the wrong thing. There we go. So let's add that and let's roll. Come on. 17.
Now, okay, so as you damn near crit this thing with the highest possible rolls that you could have in this, with an 11 out of 12 and a 6 out of 6, no one's being rolled in that entire grip. With almost an effortless movement, Felix just turns, cranks, pumps everything up, swings out of the chair, pulls his gun out, and he's actually 2 steps out of the cockpit before this Klaxian call reverberates in this valley area. Scrat, yes, we will ride eternal. Shiny and chrome. So as everything kind of just rips out of here, everybody, witness me, everybody, the 4 people that are on the horses immediately get taken out of the next couple rounds as their horses jump and they are being drug off in various movements. These horses are as spooked can be. And because of that roll, sir, you also are awarded a big damn hero point should you need it at some point in the future. That's an extra D12 to be used at your leisure. So
Well done, husband.
yeah, the married couple getting it done here in the last 2 rounds. So with this, you have the ability to do pass off initiative to the following. You can pass it off to Harriet, but at some point, everybody outside gets a chance to go as well. So you can name an enemy to go now, or you can have Harriet go.
Harriet, consider
Okay.
Harriet's sort of there taking cover right and sort of like the right by the cargo bay, so she can either bring the cargo bay doors closed or but I'm gonna come down and as soon as like I'm within earshot, I yell "We are landlocked" as loud as I can because I got a klaxon to get over, but I need to let them know we can't just bug out of here.
Sure, and what we'll say is because of that amazing roll, narratively, you're able to kind of swing open the door of the cockpit, scream this, and then the alarm goes off. So everybody that's in the cargo bay hears the fact that you're landlocked, even over the gunfire and everything. And as the squeals begin to echo through this valley, chaos has become, it's gripping all 5 senses now for the crew of the Courtesan and for everybody outside. So what would you guys like to do? Harriet, you are up. You have just shot and taken down one of the people that you were trying to aim for, this Father Sabbath, who seems to be eyeing you with very familiar eyes. But you've never seen him before, but the eyes in this man's head you've seen plenty of times.
And I would have to say, is it my go, or is he gonna...
Nope, it's your turn. You got one more action.
Okay.
Yeah, you drawing and firing was pretty surprising. So now you get a chance to.
Well, I mean, might as well keep it in the same go. We're landlocked, honey? Oh, no. Pointed down at him, trying to shoot to kill, just quickly enough. And if I can, hit the cargo bay to kind of close some time. I'm hoping that I can kill this guy before as the doors are going up. Just moving quickly, though, as long as the kids are safe. Everybody from the crew is all inside, right?
Yeah, everybody from the crew that you are aware of. Now, I'm not sure if you were here yet, but Round Jack Brannigan is laying on the floor of the cargo bay, bleeding heavily from the chest. He took a round that was part of the initial barrage of return fire.
Yeah.
Well,
and
that's
half the
what
kids
we
are
got.
safe.
That's what we got a medic for. Half of the kids are safe? That's not okay.
Yeah, and I'm bleeding.
Based on what Grimjack said. Mm-hmm. It's okay. Me and the doctor might be able to do something with it. I think you should focus on shooting people, but do what you want.
No, I'm just wondering where the grenades are. I'd have to go all the way back in the ship, but I'm just gonna keep shooting them, then try and save the kids as well. But I'm getting him first. I lock eyes with the same kind of familiar eyes I'd given my stepfather before. I've done this before, and I'll do it again. Fight, shoot. That's really all I got here.
And physical. Don't forget physical.
Yeah.
Yeah, physical. I would go physical, shoot, and I would allow focus here as well, as you're in the middle of a firefight and you're standing up and drawing down on one person in particular. This is some like next level, I am the force is with me type of shit, right?
Ooh, 7.
I should have spent a plot point.
By the way, speaking of plot points, we have been granted by Grant Ellis 1 additional plot point for Lindy. So Lo Jiao Li gets another plot point to use at her leisure.
Can I use a plot point to say that maybe there's like a bucket of grenades that like are off to the side that we're just like restocking our stuff? I mean, we do have to get bullets for our guns and stuff, right? We're in the cargo bay. It's a cargo bay. There's all the bucket of grenades.
I tell you what. I will say this to Greg. Do we have a skiff?
You guys do not have a hover. You have a 4-wheeler, like a quad, the original crew had. There's no convenient bucket of grenades, but I will tell you this, because my example in the earlier promo for the tutorial using plot points, remember out of gas, crew from the Walden comes in, shoots Mal down. So happened that right there on the quad was a gun. So if you D6, I'll give you another gun if you want to add that as like a double
2
Fists of
guns.
Fury. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I also have
right-
the thing friends in low places. Is that everywhere? Is it possible that anyone in this group of people would be someone that owes me a favor?
Unfortunately, no, because anywhere else I might say yes, but this is Perdition. It's a closed society, and the rules are very specific. They don't allow anybody in or out that doesn't go through them, so they wouldn't know you.
Okay. I think I'm good on my turn then as I try to blast this guy's head off.
Okay, so let's see. Let me see. Was that your roll there that came through with a 7? Okay, so with a 7, what this guy's going to have to do is, using his own rolls, he's going to have to be able to beat that to see if we can. And let me get him fired up here. I'm not going to show you what he has. Okay, so as you take your shot at him, Again, he stands there almost like as you are standing in the middle of your own specific maelstrom. He's standing out there as horses are bucking and kicking by, and he, for a moment, even exposes his chest as if asking you to shoot him in the chest. And the bullet goes careening over his left shoulder as he smiles at you, just seemingly protected by some divine power.
Oh, dude. Oh, honey.
This guy dies. We don't leave.
It's time for me to bring a knife to a gunfight. And I am, if possible, I'm going to start walking towards him.
Okay, to walk towards him means you are going to be leaving the confines of the courtesan and touching down on Perdition proper. As of yet, nobody from the courtesan has left the boat, and nobody from the planet is on the courtesan. That's just a positional reminder. You may do whatever you would like. Greyhawk, you have been given a plot point. With those cheer levels, you can give somebody a plot point. Let me know who you'd like to receive it, and I will make sure that they get that. Thank you very much, sir. So what would you like to do? Are you going to leave and quit the courtesan? I will allow anything that you'd like.
I'm going to definitely leave the courtesan. My crew's safe. There's still kids out there. He's the problem. I'm pretty sure that if we take him down, that the rest of them... I can't attack twice in one turn then. I couldn't shoot at him and then, like, screw this with my gun and walk out with the knife and be like, okay, let's do this mano-y-mano, so to speak. I would at least want to keep him focused on me. If he's their leader, he's probably also their best shot.
Okay. Yeah, so you can absolutely, you have his attention from the first shot that was fired, and now you definitely, he's bearing down on you, but you're also getting the attention of the 4 other people that were on the ground.
Oh, I'm going to get shot today.
Yes, I am dressed like a shroom dealer. So I've been there, man. It wasn't as long ago as you'd think. Okay, so as you are descending down upon them, this is going to now be their turn. So we're going to have 4 of these people that are spooked by this warrior woman as she descends from the courtesan, bullets flying everywhere to the sound of these alarms, and they are going to turn and bear down on you with their guns. And as we are going to do these, we are going to roll for these gentlemen. Make sure. Oop, that's not what I want.
Well, tough. No, you added a D4. You have to use a D4.
It'll be in there. I just thought I had already given myself another. Okay, now we're going to roll for this one, and then I've got to roll a 46. So I'll do this one right now. Okay, a plot point is going to... Okay, that's a terrible roll. So with an 11, they turn and shoot in your direction, these 4 gentlemen. But they've also rolled a 1 on their original rolls up top. So that gives you a plot point to use however you'd like to use it. And you guys are starting to collect yourself a nice little batch of chips here. With that, they are going to hand the initiative off to their leader, who is in turn going to move forward towards Harriet. And as he moves towards Harriet, you see him reach up and he pulls open his shirt, and there are scars lining every conceivable inch of this man's body. And as he gets forward, he looks around and he sees Brown Jack lying there with blood coming out of his chest. And he looks, and through the maelstrom, through the noise, Harriet, you hear him say, "I know pain." And he pulls out 2 huge blades from his belt.
Oh, good, honey. It's time that you get reacquainted.
You get another plot point for that because that is the baddest ass line. Definitely giving you another. That's inspiration shit right there. I love it. Okay, so as he's moving in, that is dope as fuck. I love that. Okay.
Sips tea.
Oh, not there. Damn it, I'm going to get used to this soon.
I love this system though. It's pretty
Yeah.
pretty good. It's versatile. It's easy to be like, okay, I'm gonna do this, this, and this, and I don't have to adjudicate every single rule.
Okay,
Yeah.
so he's going to launch at you with these blades out, and it's going to be a 14 against you when it comes back around to your turn to defend against this attack. So let's keep that there, as this person is going to hand off the action to Lo Jiaoli. Lo, what would you like to do?
Well, I'm bleeding. And my cover is literally blown up. So, yeah, how far away is that? Like escape hallway that those kids are going down? That
Oh,
sounds
you're
like a
halfway.
great-
You were halfway there. You were halfway towards it whenever you got knocked down, and that shard went into your trap right by on your left hand side, and so you can make a move now, and the entirety and the focus of everybody outside is either involved in trying to heal their horses that are dragging them off into the distance, or on Harriet as they are shooting at Harriet, and Harriet is just advancing, and this guy is intending to attack. I will let you know this: as you look out, you see the slumped over form of the 12-year-old boy that was battered and beaten that yelled for you all to leave, as he's standing there, and you see that he is in a terrible way. It looks like a portion of his ear has been torn off. And these horses are kind of jumping around him, and he seems incapable of moving himself too. It looks like perhaps one of his legs is broken.
That's just too bad. So too bad, so sad. Yeah, that's like the opposite direction of safety, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, sorry, kid.
Wow!
She's literally a passenger on the ship. She got on, like, Mild Bill was like, don't worry, like, the best ship ever.
best
The
ship
first
ever.
stop gets in a gunfight and has been shot. What kind of rep are we going to have?
The best ship ever. We saved kids.
Best ship ever.
No refunds.
Yeah. I was gonna yell at him to try to be like, "Hey, come on." I'll try to yell encouragement as I'm GTFOing. Like, it's much safer on here. Just drag yourself with the broken leg. It's fine. We have a doctor here. Just get on the ship. I promise everything will be fine. Hopefully. I'm just gonna give him some encouragement and go.
Okay, so you don't have any current shots or actions against you that you have to roll against. So making it back there, I will even allow you to help by in getting these, and the doctor in getting these kids in. What it'll require you to do is, though, you're going to have to get there, and so you can all help together. You'll have to give your action initiative to the doctor, and then the doctor to buy, like you guys did last time. That way, you guys can kind of train
do I need to roll
up.
some encouragement or anything?
No, no one's shooting at this point, and because we did have a good roll with, they know where they're going. Unless you want to redirect them, they know where to run. So
I'm running with them, and I will pass the turn over to the doctor.
Right, when you see everybody running in a direction, don't ask what they're running from. Just run with those people.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
This is not fun.
okay, so as you give action, is there anything else you want to do, Lo Jiaoli?
Make sure there are objects or people between me and the rest of the gunfire if it does happen to shift in our direction.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
it.
So
Just
yeah, you can even have a piece of that plastic that was before. Maybe a piece of it was faulty, but you did get that D6 asset to use for the rest of the scene. You're kind of using it to kind of shelter. As the doctor takes over the action, Doctor, what would you like to do?
So I know that we're landlocked. Do I know any way that, like, 'cause I don't know if it's like some kind of signal that's going out, or if someone's literally put something on our ship that's making it landlocked. Do I know any way what I could, from the cockpit or on a ship, that I could bypass this landlock?
I tell you what, roll me a mental, roll me an operate, and
I also have craft technology, if that helps.
yeah, I'll go ahead and take that one. Go ahead and put that down there, and this will at least give you an idea of what you're dealing with this type of landlock. This is kind of like the Higgins Moon landlock, where you're not at a port, but all of a sudden you can't fly. So this will give you maybe some information that you desperately need at this moment.
Focus, right, you said?
Yep, focus will work too, and operate, and whatever you can think of. You're going to beat the role of the main guy. We're going to use that as a we're just going to go with a 15 here to see.
So I have a craft technology. I'm not sure how I add the d6 in apart from rolling separately.
Yeah, just go ahead and roll it, and then you can just do like a backslash roll 1d6, and if it's higher, we'll add it. Yep.
Okay, so it'll be 2d6 because of key mind. I also, if it adds as well, I also have a distinction, a researcher. So I'm always
Yeah, that would take a little bit too long. As researcher allows you, this is kind of a beat, so you just have a moment to do this, and as you think about it, yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, so I roll this, and then I'll roll a 2d6 for the keen mind technology. Pull roll 11, and then 20.
Okay. Yeah, so it'll be the top two of those, so it would be a 13. And as you are sitting there thinking about what you need to do, you're pretty sure you understand how a landlock works, but the information that I will give you is a landlock originates from away from your ship. It's not something that's attached to your ship. It's not like a boot or some type of EMP device. What it is it usually comes from either a satellite or a relay station. If you had some downtime, you'd probably be able to figure it out here for this world. But right now, you know that it's originating from somewhere beyond the courtesan. You just don't know where until you think about it a little bit more.
Okay. So there's no way of like try and trick, use our system to try and trick it to think that we've got the bypass key.
The only way that you'd be able to do that, presumably, would be from somewhere in the cockpit, but it would definitely require some time.
That's where I'm going to run then.
Okay.
I'm just going to be like, get the kids in the back.
Right. And then you, with that movement, as you move up, you hand off action to Bai.
Yes.
Yeah, perfect. So Bai is still kind of like at the door. You rush forward. So there's a lull in the ricocheting pew, pew, pew gunshots as I get the rest of the kids to come over to me. When Loja Ali goes by, we have a quick moment where I'm like, I'm really sorry. Typically, we do. This is very, very unusual for the courtesan. Like as a doing a little bit of PR here,
Customer service.
and then there's like another like right over my head as I have to instinctively duck, and then I let them go.
I
I'm like,
hope so.
yeah, ew. And yeah, and you're
Plastic's just sticking
yeah,
out.
like in your shoulder. It's like, ugh. That's why I grimace a little bit. But then I think I have to focus back on the kids, and we cut back over, and I need to usher the rest of the kids to the I guess the dining area, right, with the big old table and stuff like that. I imagine this is sort of the safest spot for the kids.
Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah, it's got a like the crash system off to the side in that little circular area. So yeah, you've got it's a good place to be. Yep.
Right. So just so we know, I'm leading them to someplace safe, right? Whatever the safest place would be to the ship that I could get to, or get them to go. Like I would know, been on the ship for a while. I'm taking them there. Right.
And the best place that Bai knows is the mess hall where he usually holds court there. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. Cool. Awesome. Thank you. Yeah. So I lead them there. So I guess I need to, once again, put on my comfort parent face and get these kids to listen to me and coax them to follow the rest of the group into the ship, into the mess hall. So I say, okay, come on. It's safe now. Let's go. And you guys are doing so great. You're doing so great. Come on. And I'm going to spend my big damn hero die for this as well. Do I want to spend a plot point? I do, but I think I'm going to wait and spend it after the fact for the extra. No, wait, I'm going to add the extra die is what I want to spend it on. Right. So I'm going to spend a plot point to add the extra die so I can keep an extra die. So let me clear my pool. And so it's going to be social. It's going to be sneak to get these kids out of danger. Am I going to use steady? No. I guess I have to add the big damn hero. So that's a 12.
Yep.
BDH. And then I'm going to do I'm going to look. Here's what I'm going to do because I'm always a gamer at heart. I'm going to look over and see my husband possibly in danger, right? And that's going to suck a lot of the wind out of my sails. And so I'm going to ask to gain a plot point as I use hitched at a D4 instead of a D8. As
I like the way you think.
As a sense of the blush face goes pale as I see my husband in danger in the middle of a fight. And so as soon as we roll after this, we're going to cut over to Felix, hopefully.
Okay.
And husbando. All right. And I spend a plot point to add an additional die, or keep an extra die, so it's a 2, so it's a 13.
Okay. And then you got rid of your big damn hero die as well.
Yeah.
So no one's there, which is a good thing. And so as you're able to get these kids through there, you're able to complete the movement. And we'll say that for the sake of the narrative, you're able to get them to the mess hall, get them squared away. And as you see Felix rush past you, you know that he's going into danger where you are pulling these kids out with the doctor and Lo Zhao Li. And the camera is going to pan from him. Yeah, you spent the one plot point and got the plot point, so I was going to give you one and then just took it right back. So you're good to go. So as everything kind of crosses and you guys go, Felix, when you enter into the cargo bay, you see that everyone has evacuated. You see Round Jack Brannigan lying on his back, blood pouring from his chest, and you see that Harriet is currently engaged in some type of hand-to-hand combat with this man that you haven't seen yet, tall, long beard with a Dutch boy bang haircut with the floppy sides, who has exposed himself to the waist, covered in scars, and he is launching himself at Harriet. You have a moment to do something here if you'd like.
I'm going to reach the gangplank, was sort of like the gangway above, see this happening, and I am going to draw my revolver, level it at this guy. As Harriet has sort of drawn a knife, he's drawn 2 blades, and I'm just going to very sternly sort of yell, but kind of not like outraged. He just says, "I don't believe you have permission to board my ship," and I'm going to shoot him very fucking hard. And I'm going to spend so I'm going to spend my big damn hero die here.
Okay, that's a D12.
D12. Can I spend a plot point to keep an extra dice in this?
You absolutely can, yep.
Yep. And then it's fight, focus, it's physical. And how do I add a big damn hero into my...
You can go down to the bottom and pull add, and it'll ask you what size of die and what you want to call it.
Do I type D12?
Yep. There you go.
There we go. And let me just check. Just checking to see if there's anything else. Fight doesn't include, is it? Fight's like hand to hand.
No, yeah, fight. You can go with shoot if you have shoot.
Yeah, I've got shoot in there. Okay, I think that's everything. So that
is a 17 with your plot point, right? So how would you like to clip this guy out of the air just as he is descending upon Harriet? This is a shot that was going to hit him, and I'll determine what the damage will be whenever you finish this. But you take him out of the air, as you say, no one can board my ship.
I just shoot him straight in the collarbone. Like, I go sort of, not like center of mass, because I can't, I'm like trying to aim over Harriet's shoulder, making sure I don't clip her, so I can't aim dead center of mass, but I'm going for his collarbone, hopefully to take out at least one arm of this fight.
Okay, so as you fire, you see him get hit and he spins, and with that, you're going to deal him a D8 complication of shattered collarbone. So if anybody rolls against him from now on, he is suffering the effects. So if you roll in a combat with this guy, you're rolling an additional D8 because of the wound that was just inflicted by Felix. With that shot and with that movement, is there anything else you would like to do? We'll say that you have movement enough to get down to the cargo bay floor if you'd like.
No, I'm literally just passing through. I'm on my way to the engine bay. I gotta fix that ship. But on the way through, I'm gonna shoot this guy for daring to get on my ship. And then Felix is just like calls out like, I presume you have this, Miss Dawson, and I'm gonna run straight for the engine bay because I'm a jerry rig this. We're getting off this planet. I don't care if they landlock us. No one landlocks my ship. No one tells the courtesan where she lay.
Okay, so we'll say that for the sake of the narrative, you make it down to the bank. Harriet, this is going to give initiative back over to you. This gentleman has just been shot in front of you, but he is continuing to come at you. If you need to roll against him, I believe we said the DC for his attack was a 15. You get to add an additional D8 to your roll because he's got a busted collarbone and a bullet wound.
It's a 14.
A 14, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Now you just ain't very bright now, are you? And I am going to... The shot, as it hits him, does that stagger him at all? Does he stop, or is he just trying to, like, bear through it?
I'll give you this much. Narratively, as it comes through and hits the side of him, he stops for a second in his swing. Maybe one foot touches the ground as he leaps back towards you, but as he comes back around, there is a smile of pleasure on his face, as if this pain is not something he's foreign. He's used to this stuff, and he is launching at you.
Man, I really just want to... My instinct here is just to like jump kick him in his jaw and then kick him back and then shoot him as he's going down. Is there any way I can just like
do that?
I want to grab like some of the dirt from the ground, throw it, then jump kick him, then shoot him, like and just be a cheap, dirty fighter.
Absolutely. And here's how we're going to do it. You're going to roll a physical. You're going to roll a shoot. You're going to roll a trick, because that's definitely what you're doing here. And I'm going to allow a focus in here as well. And in addition to those 4...
Well, I also want to put a plot point in there as well.
To keep an extra one of the roll?
Yeah, because I have not been rolling very well.
Okay, and then you get another D8 on top of that because he's already hurt. Felix took a shot at him.
Can I just put any D8 in there to expedite it, or do I have to drag it?
Absolutely. No,
okay.
It's perfectly fine.
Okay. Well, I just changed my thing. There we go. Come on, quick. There we go. And I'm good to roll.
You are good to roll.
There we go. Hey. I guess.
Okay, so with a 12, no ones, and we get to add one of them on there because you used a plot point for it. That takes it up to 16. A 15. Yep. 16. So at 16, excuse me. So as you grab hold of there and throw the dirt into his eyes, I would like you to narrate exactly what Harriet does here.
Oh, you're just not very bright now, is he? You have no divine power. And I throw the dirt in his eyes, and I wait until he has just a moment of staggering. I want the kind of cacophony of the noise around him to really settle into what he's doing and make him feel alone in that blinded moment. I put my hands up with the knife. I jump kick him in his chin, and as he's falling back, I want to flip the knife upside down and stab it right up into his crotch and pull up as high as I can.
Okay, we're going to say that all of this proceeds exactly as you'd like it, but as the blade is heading towards the crotch area, he's able to move a little bit out of the way, and you just rut the outside of his quad. You just, carve a good 1-inch deep gash into his quad as it creeps up, and you even feel it catch bone a little bit as it clips this thin man's hip. And now that you are up in front of him, now that you see exactly what you're dealing with, he even smells like your stepfather. He has that air of just musk and stink, and he leans in closer to you as he seems like he is not going to give up so easy, but his wound has now progressed to a D10 with a knife wound that you have put into him, and he is bleeding rather heavily. I am going to give you a chance to move, as it now seems that the people that were on the horses have gotten control of them, and you now have 8 additional people that are going to be coming in on you at any second. If you want to back up, now's the time.
Where's my medic? What are we doing leaving this boy out here? And I don't. We're landlocked, though. It doesn't matter if we get on the ship. They can just go and leave and come back with heavy artillery, and then we're stuck in the ship. I need a little bit of chaos here, and I'm going to stay in the fight.
I love it. I couldn't love this anymore. It is literally Harriet against a gang. And it's just the dopest shit in the history of ever. Okay, so as you're sitting there...
He's a big man. He's a body shield. I can work with this.
Right. I tell you what, if you spend another plot point, I will allow you to make an asset out of him that you can use him as a D6 shield.
Absolutely. I'm going to try and keep him in between me and whatever is happening.
Okay, so that's exactly what you've got.
I also got... I didn't add it to my roll because I get a +1 D6 to hand-to-hand combat because it's that big knife that I got from last time. Is it too late to put that in there?
Absolutely not. That's Buffalo Tom Thick's knife. You can absolutely add a D6 in.
Okay, so let me just hit a D6 really quickly. Oh, wait, no. Pool clear. D6. Pool roll. 3.
Yeah. Close.
It wouldn't have helped you anyway with this then, but as you're able to just stand there and take this guy, you do spend the plot point as you basically grab him by his hair, and as you grab him by his hair, the wig that he is wearing sloths off, and there are just these spindly gray kind of hairs off of it, and you immediately switch your grip and go for the biggest patch of that, just those tufts of gray that